Willkommen back zu the channel, meine und Damen. Und this is, ja, der lange Schweinstocker in Worthunters. What do you think about this Object 268? 269? What else? You think he's compensating for something? You can't even fit the barrel of that cannon in the frame. Good gory. Look at this thing. Launch it through a significantly sized trebuchet, and you have yourself a UFO for sure. I would love to see the F-7U flying flapjack in the game someday, by the way, but I digress. Object 268 has always been a heavy tank of my dreams. I thought it would never come to War Thunder, and I always hoped it would, which makes it sort of bittersweet that it's part of an event that is designed to where you cannot have both this and the Corsair, the CAS Corsair, which I'm sure I will end up choosing. But I've made a few how to play the market videos on my channel, as I completely ignore the fact this is a fantastic replay sent in by the very generous ConeOfArc, a man who I've had the pleasure of speaking with a little bit, and I've had an amicable professional relationship, or professional to amateur relationship, myself being the amateur. In this sense, Cone Senpai being the senpai, myself Kohai. But, okay, I've gotten off on a few rabbit holes already. I'm very excited to share this video with you all, and I'm very disappointed in this continued trend that Gaijin has of making these grind events impossible to grind past a certain level and requiring the market to access all of the vehicles. Now, I have the time. If I really knuckle down and do a little bit of bad parenting, set up the kiddie pool, in the living room, and let the kids just make a mess of the house while I grind away at War Thunder for 10, 12 hours in a day, I can do that. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I got no life. I keep these kids alive. If they don't get direct eye contact with daddy for the better part of a week, you know what? that's just the price that we're willing to pay. But it's actually impossible. You can only grind this event for effectively what is around 8 hours a day worth of grinding over the course of 10 days, and then you will not receive any more crates. It's nice that they made it crates, right? Shipping containers, something like that. Anyway, no more loot crates for you. And Cone just absolutely obliterating foe after foe here. These guys don't know where to aim against Cone. I suspect that things will be very different shortly once people realize that the central hull of Object 268 is actually its weakest armor. Ironic, I know, but driver's port area, if you please. Susceptible very much to APFSDs that it will face quite a bit. I'm sure even some of the stronger Sabot will go through, especially if you're looking at the Slippery J rounds that the STRV 103 has access to. They have an improved penetration against angled armor. That will probably go through the hull. The turret can be pretty tough nut to crack from what I see, and it really does benefit just to aim center mass against this heavy tank, which is kind of counterintuitive. You'd think it would be the most heavily armored portion of the tank, but instead this design has a few design compromises in terms of armor protection. Although there is an incredible weight of armor on the vehicle, it is more susceptible to top-down attacks. The roof armor's not super thick, to the extent that the ME262A1 U4 Narwhal that is easily available to German players at this tier, and still a very useful ground attacker, probably the best CAS platform for mixed battles, even at this battle rating, although that can be contested by a bunch of other stuff that can punch right through the Object 268. And yet, at this time, in this battle, Cone is nigh undefeatable. There's nothing that can stop him from making progress in Object 268 today, and that's actually something you have to do. Well, it does start with its best round, an APHE Patate BC that will shrapnelize anything it pens and pen around 300 millimeters of flat armor, the same way that IS-7 can famously do. Somewhat less effect against that Italian pizza delivery convertible. You can see it has the drop top. You can feel the wind in your hair as the APHE splatters the gunner's remains all over you. But nothing can stop Cone from making progress in this match. I wish the same could be said for these grind events. It's the one gripe that I have with what is honestly the best type of event, in my humble opinion, in War Thunder. It's the lowest stress. Please pardon my lack of editing here, but I ended up talking about event stuff anyway, which is probably why you're watching this video in any event. I was also, as I mentioned, being a stay-at-home dad, as is my perpetual wont to do, and so I might have been a little bit slow on closing those annoying tabs in the replay system. I was probably changing a diaper or something. I've actually been spending a lot of time with my girls. They're very important to me. They're precious, and I even managed to do some picking up today. And maybe it is really for the best that I can only grind this event for 8 hours a day. Maybe Papa Snail needs to take my hand off the computer mouse and gently insert it into my wallet to finish off this event. Maybe Papa knows best. But I don't think so, and I don't like it. I'm just going to be honest with that. This is my favorite kind of event in War Thunder, because you can make progress quickly. You don't have to spend 2/3 of a month, planning out your schedule to give yourself 4 hours to play War Thunder, or more or less, depending upon all these things that you worry about. Get kills, get assists, get whatever stuff, and those have been improving. They're a lot easier than they used to be, but they are a hell of a lot more stressful than this one objective. Play the game. 50% activity. If you rush up to the enemy and get shot a few times and then leave the match, you already have more than 50% activity. I'm not saying you should do that. It's a crummy way to play the game. You're not going to get good rewards, and you're not going to have a good time. And that was just punching through the upper frontal plate of an angled Tiger II, the way you do with a Schwanz like this. A Schwanz, something like that. Anyway, it's a long man, and maybe that is enough reason to grind the, 60 hours that you have to grind to get this without paying your way through the market some. And I dropped $20 on pieces in the market just to smooth my progress, and I probably didn't need to do that, but I did, and I'm hoping that I can play the market a little bit. I've made some playing the market videos in the past, and it's really the same principle every time. And if you're watching this video now before understanding these things, you're already too late, because the time to sell everything is when the prices are high. The best time to do that is right when the event starts. So you could just literally sell all the materials that you can sell and not even try to build any rockets, and you will end up being able to buy twice as much as what you sold if you then wait until the prices drop down to the minimum near the end of the event to start using stuff. Of course, you got to give yourselves 12 hours of flight time for those rockets now, don't you? But if that makes any sense, maybe that can help you. And here we are with an elevated main cannon, if you will, in recognition of an incredible kill streak by ConeOfArc. Hopefully something he'll be showing off on his channel with his own colorful commentary and not going off on a rant the way I did. But playing the market is one way to get around the fact that you just cannot unlock all of these vehicles for free. Otherwise, maybe choose the object. Maybe choose the CAS Corsair, and then be happy with that. Now, I sort of made a decision maybe 2 years ago that I was going to try to unlock everything, because I would always think, well, you know what, this thing's not worth unlocking, I'll just skip it. I'll pass on this one. I'll opt out of grinding to the last tier of, you know, Operation Suffer or whatever. And then I always regretted it. And at the same time, I have an IS-7 sitting in my hangar in my driveway that I've played it maybe 2-3 times in a match. You know what? It is what it is. But at least this event is not inherently stressful. So there is that. Anyway, guys, I wanted to share this replay of Cone just blapping people in Object 268 and maybe talk about the object itself, but I just couldn't keep a hold of the objective. It's good. I wanted to get a chance to talk about the event anyway. As for myself, I've been greatly enjoying the event. I'll throw up some gameplay footage of me being a terrible human being in the A2D, which is about to get a BR increase that I have to agree is probably warranted. Even more important than to have a 5.7 CAS machine in your premium line available to you, even if the P47M is better. Oh, I said it! Anyway, hope you enjoyed this one, and as always, there's a link to the Discord where you can get in touch with me that I encourage you to take. The way that my mods have things set up, when you join the Discord, you have to wait to have a role assigned to you, and that can take a few hours sometimes, because I don't have a lot of mods, and all of these people, including myself, have a life outside of Discord to deal with. So don't feel like we've forgotten you. We'll get to you, and I would personally love to see you there. Catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.